So preparing for a roast, you have to learn a lot about a person. The most surprising thing I learned about Ezra is that Ezra is a Gen Z. Ezra is the same age as Amadeus. Ezra looks more like Mau than Maandamano. I mean, I could swear I saw his picture next to the Don Kimani in that one. In fact, I'm sure he was picked as a class rep because they looked at him and they're like, who's that joking? He has done it before.
Okay, I feel bad roasting Innocent. Because if I win today, I'm going to lose my 0.01% chances of getting one of the beautiful sisters from Innocent's family. That said, Innocent has very beautiful sisters, which makes me wonder, okay, where did Innocent come from? I'm talking about the name Innocent. You know, Innocent is the firstborn. First of all, that's the only thing he has ever come first in. That's because he found himself there. So talking about his name, you know, Innocent being a firstborn, he came unplanned. While the parents were exploring, of course. So the dad wanted to reject him. He born see, I'm Innocent. He even suggested about this thing. But the mom was, no, mtoto Innocent. Anyway, they sorted out their issues, forgave each other. But you know, women forgive, but they never forget. So she decided to name the kid Innocent, just to remind him about his mistakes.
That's true. It's rough being a firstborn. Ezra, on the other hand, is a lastborn, actually. Yeah, if you think my sisters took all the looks in our family, he has 3 sisters. That's why he looks like that. In fact, his parents really wanted a boy, so they kept going, and that's how they had 4 kids. But then after they saw Ezra, they're like, oh my God, we can't have sex again. Kill him before he plays sex.
That's true. So if you look at Innocent closely, he has a Nigerian-shaped head. He was not born like that. He was born with a good rounded head. So he gained this extension on his head by starting a fight in Rongai. So when he started the fight, a Maasai guy hit him so hard on the head with a rungu that the rungu broke, but the head survived. How I wish it was the other way around. How I wish he had used a machete. Right now, we wouldn't be listening to this silly joke. That said, you know, Innocent can't succumb to life pressures because his head is naturally a helmet.
I don't even know what the best come up with that, so I'll just keep it going. Ezra is one of the hardest working comedians in the game. Because honestly, with a face like that, what other choice does he have? He's always making jokes about ugly people. Because like Michael Jackson, he is talking to the man in the mirror.
Thank you, Innocent. So somewhere in Kajiado, a Maasai man is regretting losing his rungu to Innocent's head. And talking about Innocent, if Innocent was serious with life, he could have had battered poverty out of his life. You know, Innocent comes from a rich family, but it's so unfortunate he's the poorest in that family. So they're just keeping him there in that family to use him as an example. Okay, work hard or you'll become innocent.
Yo, I'm lucky I'm the poorest in my family and I look like this. Ezra is the richest in his Ezra's been single for a while, obviously. He recently went on a blind date. When the girl was asked if she'd like to go to him again, she said she'd rather be blind. In fact, it's not really her fault. It's just because Ezra's comedy voice is also his bedroom voice. Tutadinyana sanga. Mbona ulipei boo?
So if you notice, that's true by the way. If you notice, Innocent has some white hairs. In the room, he looks like the wisest man in the room. If his mouth is shut, of course. So Innocent was saying in his joke, he looks like a guy who voted for Kibaki. But he looks more of a guy who was in YK92 with the likes of Jirongo. In fact, he looks like a guy who voted for Moi in the Mlolongo system. Okay, that's a good joke for me.
Don't be like that. Yeah,
And you know,
Ezra.
wait. Innocent says he's in his Jesus year because he's 33 years old. I think heaven is calling him. But you know, when Jesus was 33 years old, he used to feed people. Innocent is not even capable of feeding his one girlfriend. I mean, since he got the girlfriend is getting fit without the girl going to the gym. And okay, end of that joke. It's not working. No.
Innocent, you still have some. You have a few more. And he keep going on we let him destroy Ezra. Okay, let's go.
Ezra doesn't have a girlfriend, as you can clearly tell. Yes. So he always pays for sex. But it's just mainly because the only way he can get an erection is if he pays a prostitute to laugh at his jokes. His comedy career has been going a bit well nowadays. He's even getting branding deals. Like, you can see him as the face of a Maristop's billboard for failed abortions.
So, talking about Innocent, Innocent used to be a big fan of PTSD until the day he experienced what happened in Rongai. Hey. So ever since that day, he experiences PTSD. And so by the way, Innocent is so smart. He went to the law school but dropped out. So sadly he never got to finish the law degree. But so fortunate, tonight he has been admitted to bar.
Yeah. Okay, guys, give it up for Innocent and Ezra. These guys are put up a battle, I think, right? That's a good battle. Innocent looks like those events people say old school. This is the face you expect to. Like Innocent looks like old school. Ezra looks like old. Not cool, yeah? All right, let's listen from the judges. Maybe